Welcome to an album review for the new Femme Fatale album. To start, one, I can't put that album title in the video title or say it in the first couple minutes of this video, or else YouTube's not gonna push the video to anybody. So we're gonna have to get a little creative here. Two, as far as I know, they are actual sisters. I know absolutely nothing about Femme Fatale other than they are an idol group, and this album title is the only reason I checked this out. What have I gotten myself into? The first song is Role of a Life, and if nothing else, it's a statement of purpose. The song blasts through pretty much every popular idol music trope. You've got the weird funk-inspired instrumental at one point, you've got a rap breakdown, you've got a marching band-styled section, you have random quiet bits, and would you believe it? None of these fit together cohesively at all. There is too much stuff in this song. There's a whole EP's worth of ideas all smashed together into this one album opener. While I appreciate the fact that they put something this bizarre at the start, and it definitely does grab my attention, there's no way I see myself re-listening to this. It's kind of fun as a one-off as you navigate the many twists and turns, but falls flat on any kind of repeated listening. Next is Club Moon, where the funk on the first song is back and a lot more of a prominent role. This feels like a much more put-together song than the first song, which is for the best. The production, just like last song, is by Hidefumi Kenmochi of Wednesday Campanella, and let's just say you can definitely tell. And that production is solid. My main issue, though, is that the vocals are kind of weak, which is disappointing for an idol song. Isn't that, like, the entire point of this group existing? The melody is also just weak. It's a decent enough song, especially if I'm in the mood, but far from some of the heights this album is able to hit later. Dang Dang Love is the next song, and the highlight here is once again the production. It's the kind of catchy boom boom house you'd expect from producer Dede Mouse. Luckily here the vocals are improved. My favorite is the little sing rap breakdown that goes into a super sick instrumental section towards the middle. The chorus is also a lot smoother here. The girls work super well off the instrumental, even if they are carried by it a little at times. It might not be the catchiest song of all time, but it's super punchy and fun, the kind of song I can imagine would sound great live. Does Femme Fatale have pits? Because this would go crazy in the Femme Fatale pit. The fourth song, Beat, definitely lives up to the title and the verses with a hard, fast kick drum that constantly keeps you on edge. Outside of that, though, this song is really lacking. The chorus on this song is straight up bad. The instrumental is super draped in reverb that leads to every note sounding incredibly washed out and basically identical, and this gives the girls pretty much nothing to work off of as they struggle over a super slow melody that, like, kinda fits with the instrumental, but the instrumental's so bad that it just drags everything else down with it. I'm not at all a fan of this song. The fifth song, however, is Daisikyu Daisyuki, and this song is seriously incredible. If this hadn't been released as a single back in 2022, this would be a genuine Song of the Year contender. For one, the producer Sasaki Kisa went completely insane on this. This is one of the best produced idol songs I have ever heard in my life. This is completely delusional in all the best ways. It's infinitely energetic in every part, to the point where it somehow manages to pull off a trap breakdown. I can count on one hand the amount of songs that do that and make it work really well. It's such a common J-pop trope, but it's actually really masterfully done here. There's also a completely fucking insane synth solo about 2 minutes in that, again, is so much better than is required for an idol song. The girls not only match, but somehow even elevate the producer's forward momentum, resulting in an incredibly fun, bouncy song that I am not surprised it blew up on TikTok. Every aspect of this is great. The instrumental synth solos, the chorus melody, the crazy ass hooks. This song is awesome and is absolutely everything I could have ever wanted out of this album. Cupid follows up this insanely hyper sugar rush by opting to be really boring. The production is super early 2010s EDM, but in the worst way possible. The chorus here falls completely flat on its face. The drop is terrible and super unfulfilling at every single point. The trap tinges sound like garbage. It is easily the worst track here produced by the Wednesday Campanella guy, and it would be a bad track if it was on one of their albums too. In stark contrast is seventh song, Roller Coaster. Again, it's produced by him, but it's actually really good. In fact, it's the second best song in the album. Most of this, though, is because of the chorus, which is one of the most unlikely earworms I've ever heard. It's genuinely impressive how much this song is able to lodge itself into your brain. The hook, and honestly really the entire melody, is a work of genius. The actual instrumental itself backs it up well enough, but I am not exaggerating when I say the entire reason I listen to this song is that hit of pure serotonin on the hook. The rest of the song is fine fine enough to keep me sticking around, even if the trap production does annoy me a bit on repeated listens, but that chorus is special. Pupil, the 8th song, is weird. It actually starts out really promising. It's got an infectiously fun groove and overall a super funky instrumental. It's kind of funk pop you might expect out of a band like B Radio. Unfortunately, this song just gets progressively worse as it goes on. A lot of the cool funk from the start fades away and is instead replaced by annoying EDM tropes. Like, the loud-ass bright synth did not need to be there. It does nothing but subtract from this song. The chorus also throws any semblance of funkiness away, instead deploying a very typical J-pop melody. Unsurprisingly, it doesn't work. There's fun parts of this song, but they are overshadowed by straight-up bad ideas. Mellow Mellow comes after, and it immediately distinguishes itself from everything else by being a rock song. With how hyper and insane parts of this album have been, this song had a real chance to be a standout. You know, maybe it could bring in some crazy trap elements like the Sato album I reviewed earlier this year, or give the album some punk energy. That might work well. Yeah, it doesn't do either of those. This is the most boring indie rock instrumental of all time. It's super slow, super boring guitar, and the most generic drum beat ever conceived. The song is like objectively bad. Who does this appeal to? Even if this kind of slower indie rock is your jam, which it isn't really mine, there's so many albums that do it far better. Instead of listening to this, you could listen to the new Homecomings album, or Kazuyori Masaru, or if you're looking for harder rock, Atozome, or if you're looking for math rock, maybe JoJo. All of those are just from this year. Why would you ever listen to this? Luckily though, we get a burst of fun on the closer, Step Into. Once again, you can really tell that Day Mouse is on the production here with the super energetic house going on throughout the track. And once again, the production is the star of the show here. The girls are, for the most part, totally fine. With the exception of the last chorus, they don't really add or subtract anything to this song. That last chorus though, is fantastic. It's a super fun, high energy ending to the album, and the girls elevate their singing to match the super lofty heights of the instrumental. It's a fantastic feel-good closer. I have no complaints whatsoever with it. It's really good. So that's my review of, and I can say it now because I don't think YouTube cares anymore, Fucking Sisters. That's one of the most insane album titles ever, but also, I probably wouldn't have listened to this if that wasn't the title, and I almost certainly would not have bothered to review this if that wasn't the title. I'm subbed to a Japanese music newsletter, and this title convinced me to listen more than any bio could have ever done. This is the kind of title that could only come from kind of, but not really understanding the English language. I love it. And like, there were some surprisingly good songs to justify listening to this. One thing I would like to point out here, I added one of the 6 songs written by Hitofumi Kenmochi to my playlist, and 3 out of the 4 songs written by other people. The whole thing is a little inconsistent in quality, mostly because of him, but tracks like Roller Coaster and Daisikyu Daisyuki are super fun. My advice, shake up your producers. Don't let one person make half your album, especially when he's feeding you mid. I'm gonna score this album a 7 out of 10. If you don't mind me, I'm gonna go erase all mentions of Fucking Sisters from my internet search history. Bye!